There are certain things that I don't like, and one of them is negative uh, behaviors. And I've recently dealt with a lot of negative behaviors and a lot of negativity. Currently, things are great, uh, and I think that I'm going to make another video talking about like what is like paranoia when it comes from things that other people are doing or saying. Um, but I could name a few different people who are not like who have this negative form of communication um, that I wanted to make a note about in my redacted diary. Um, if so, if I'm communicating with you, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to argue. Um, I like to touch base with people and have touch base. Like I like to uh, yeah, I think that's a good way to say it. Touching base with somebody, and just I think there's another way I used to phrase it. But I like being a leader. I like to touch base with people and have one-to-one meetings and group meetings with people. And I don't like having people having like talking about to other people about me, talking about the narrative of the room or going above me. And having meetings that affect me or having a negative agenda for how my life should be. Um, but please do not have negative behaviors if I set clear boundaries. I only set clear boundaries that don't affect what you're doing and don't affect you living your best life. They are mostly just for my peace, and they are very positive, easy to follow rules and boundaries for me. Because like I wouldn't want somebody else setting a boundary to me that affects me negatively or affects me living my best life. Um, but the one I'm talking about here is a specific type of communication thing that I come back to this. Uh, like it's like that what's it called, the Rizzler? Like what's he do? I don't know. But like, so you can't listen when you're talking, and there is certain something that I never want to um, have this come up in a conversation. Um, but like where somebody cuts you off, where somebody tries to end the conversation, or tells you not to talk, um, or says that they don't want to talk when you are actively communicating. If somebody like because like I just like I needed to sleep, and I needed to like it was at the end of the day, and I before making this video, like I had to lay down for a while, and like I understand that like if you've had a long day, and I understand if you don't want to talk, but if I am and I will do my best to respect that. But that is often not a good thing to actually set in a conversation, because it sets a certain type of a communication like and a social thing that like situation that affects communication and affects things going smoothly. So like avoiding uh, talking or talking to people about like that you don't want to talk, or cutting people off, or just outright not listening to them or telling them not to talk. Also, I don't like people talking about the narrative of the room. I don't like people having a negative agenda for how my life should be, or affecting other people, telling them where to sit, stand, walk around, being oppressive. Um, but those are a little bit off topic from this, but they are things that I really would not want to have. Like I wouldn't want to, like, cause like if I'm in a cabin, like it would be great to have an apartment, but like what if I was in an apartment? Like if I were to be in an apartment, that would want like a lot of things that aren't Amazon basics, and like two ACs and like all sorts of things. But like the thing is, like it would need to have certain stores within walking distance, and they would need to be far away from, and like not an actual apartment, but like a house. Like I want a house that is like separate from like other people, or like maybe I have soundproofing, like some sort of a separation from the other houses, and stores within walking distance. But like thing about group home is there's like other people, but like it was at the end of the day, you know, I wasn't like I had no reason to talk to them, and so like of course I was respectful, and I just like that they were that they like that it was at the end of the day, and that they had said that they didn't want to talk, but like I just most of the time that is not okay, and that is not affecting communication in that way. It's not like a it's that's not a good thing to do to affect the social environment. Um, um, because if like if I like say if I wanted to talk to somebody, or like if I want to, or if I need to talk to somebody, like either of those things, like or if there's just something that I want to talk about, I want to be able to communicate, like open communication and touching base with people. um, but after somebody saying that they like that like cutting communication or cutting you off, telling you not to talk, like that is no, that's just like that's not okay most of the time, uh, because yeah, that's just not okay. I understand like if you've had a long day, but like if I need or want to talk to you, and then that's just like you you need to communicate, you need to talk to me, you need to listen. More importantly, you need to listen, and um, you should you should communicate, rather than setting that sort of a environment where like another behavior from like because this was like there was a specific person who like this is the second time, like then they talked about like so they said that, and they talked about like how the HCS, because I'm in a HCS program, because they were talking about something else, that like that it wasn't my home, and I had to do some research to be like, okay, this is my home, this is my house, like if you're in the HCS program, that's your home. And I had to confirm some legal documents just to make sure that I was sure about that, or that like I just give me some peace of mind. Um, but like what I want um, but I need to make a dedicated video talking about how because like I have paranoid schizophrenia, because like I have mental damage, I have PTSD, I have all these things that I take a medicine that helps with helps with whenever you get into that where you overthink about things, where you have like a delusion, but where you have the paranoia, where you worry, like where it becomes an irrational, like somewhat irrational, like overthinking about like these things. But if somebody is threatening you, if somebody is is saying paranoid things like, let me look up the definition of paranoia. Just so I can refresh what that is, because like I feel like it. Paranoia is the opposite of, like, there's Murphy's Law, the opposite of Murphy's Law, and then there's paranoia, which is the opposite of paranoia. There are two extremes of like an understanding of like situational or worries and stuff. And but like it is okay. So paranoia is an unjustified suspicion or mistrust of other people or their actions. And I think that if you were to be paranoid or you were to worry and you were to be using logic and rationale, that it would that you could be paranoid in a way. Maybe I should find some other word other than paranoia, because it seems it's the unwarranted or delusional belief that one is being persecuted, harassed, or betrayed by others, occurring as part of mental condition. Um, I think that I think that I need to find other like, cause I think paranoia, like because like if you have mental damage and, you know, like so what I wanted to talk about was uh like there's been people in my life, not just people who right now, but like there's been people who they would say that they would do negative things to me. They would do passive aggressive. They would be manipulative. They're all these behaviors. Like they would, one of the things they would take their phone and they would, oh, like they would have their eyes wide. They would they would do that to me. My therapist would do that to me. My stepdad would do that to me. One of the many passive aggressive, negative manipulative behaviors. Um, but these are real logical things that can be broken down into like analyzed and like this. Okay, here's what the problem is. These things need to stop. Um, like so like there are ways to systematically figure out what's going on, and like this isn't paranoia. This is like actual behaviors I've dealt with. And then paranoid thoughts, people saying paranoid things. Like I need to reevaluate my language for talking about these things, because if somebody says something, like says a threat, says that they are going to repeat a negative behavior, if they say that they're going to that like if they talk about like talking about you in a meeting, or having a negative, or they talk about something, how they want to affect like you living your best life, your life, or how things are, or have a non-abundant lack mindset, or try to get you into the trance of scarcity, um, or where there's like lack, or any kind of limitation or oppression. Um, but if somebody is saying, I usually say, like, if somebody is saying paranoid thoughts, saying paranoid things, or threatening you, like, I need another way of talking about that, because like they are either saying negative things, saying like oh, there's gonna be saying something scary, saying a threat, saying something scary, um, talking about your fears, like or that hearing crickets. And like when my stepdad would take me to the hospital and be like, he's hearing crickets, and then they would put me on, and then we're like, oh yeah, we'll do that, we'll put you on meds. um, but like but like my stepdad would ask me about hearing he would bang on the Raven Shack, which is a place in the back. Like there would be this loud banging sound, and then like I would see my dad walking away from the walking away from Raven Shack. I would see him out the window, and like there would be like boom, right in the garage door, because it's a converted garage, and there he would bang on the door, and like he would ask if I heard these things, and like that, like literally, he did that whenever he was asking me if I wanted to live there again before I moved to my apartment. And I said no, I don't, because like because that was something that was a big problem whenever there was the harassment with the police, harassment with the psych industry, and it was this loud banging sound that would happen at my on the garage door, the constant like coming into my room, or into Raven Shack, and like or setting things of like certain things to do without whenever I would ask say something that were some place that I would want to go, something I would want to do, like if they wouldn't do it, and then they would plan things, and then I would just like wind up having to go to that movie when like I couldn't opt out of things with my step parents. And then there was that thing at CSP where like it was like where like I wasn't at home and they kept on driving me around endlessly and bringing me to other houses at CSP. Um, but I'm not staying on topic. I'm jumping around to various things that like as I'm thinking about these things and remembering various things that are related to what I'm talking about. Um, but the paranoid, like saying, like whenever it says saying that you like, it's like, well, what's paranoia? So like, there is some rhyme or reason to saying the paranoid because like, it's an unjustified, unwarranted, and delusional belief. If it is justified, if it is not delusional, if it is rational, logical, if there are real logical, real things, real behaviors, if it is reality that you should be worried about things, if you should not be paranoid, like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm paranoid, but it's not paranoid. So let me see. Okay, so there are two words that I find very interesting. There's obsession and paranoia, and there are two words that I wanted to touch on with. There's like addiction and obsession, but there is something but like there is paranoia. I specifically want to focus on paranoia, and I want to know a word and the definition of that word that means paranoid, but like where it is not delusional, where there are real logical things like worries. Like what means that you are worried, rationally, logically worried, based on real things that are going on, or real past experiences. What is paranoia when it is not delusional? Whenever it is a rational logical thing, what is another word that means that? Hypervigilant, worried. Um, what is the definition of PTSD? What is the definition of PTSD? Copilot. I'm gonna go to Bing. Also, oppression and undermining are things that I've dealt with. PTSD definition. I think that I might need to invent some more language, get into linguistics, because I feel like okay, post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition triggered by experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. Behaviors, traumatic event, reoccurring behaviors and negativity. I think it falls into this, leading to severe anxiety, flashbacks, and emotional distress, like getting tased, like constant instability and getting moved to or getting sent places, or where people say paranoid things. What is it better, like not hypervigilant, like saying like threats, or saying threatening and scary things, like there's knives over there, or like or like uh asking me if I like, are you hearing voices, like are and why are you agitated, whenever like saying like that's something that I would say, like when I wasn't, like they would say I'm mad repeatedly and that I'm crazy, but like saying that I'm crazy, saying that I'm mad, saying or asking why I'm agitated, why I'm hearing voices, or like asking, did you hear that thing outside when you went outside at night? Like because there was a lot of bugs. Like I used to wonder if there was like some sort of like an elite thing that was going on with a frequency being played over the speakers for like that induced panic and like various other things that maybe my stepdad was doing. But I think that it wasn't that, because but that thought process seems very, I mean it's possible, but like that is a very paranoid type of thing to think. More likely it is probably bugs. It's like but like sometimes there would also be that sort of that sort of a frequency would come on at night, and it was at I don't know if it's like for animal control. Like I think my stepdad has even told me that he did it, or that he has that playing at the ranch. Like because whenever I used to go outside at night to look at the moonlight, look at the stars, and to go on my midnight adventures at the ranch and go on midnight nature walks. But like the last time I went out there, and another factor for this is that I had matcha tea, which is very easily, like, as a factor, that is something that is super, like it makes you, like anytime you drink matcha, like you will have like heightened senses, and like you will be like that Spider-Man movie where he was like um where his senses were overwhelming him, because and that's something that matcha is good. Like I drink more black tea than matcha because of those effects. But like I had matcha tonight, and like the jazz sounds great, and like it's not too much. But like I think that one of the things that causes that with matcha is that like if you haven't gotten enough sleep, and I got about like 12 hours or not 12 hours, but I've slept for like a good patch of time, and I got some sleep, and then I got up at 3 a.m. to get started working on these things. Um, but I think that the English language has a lot of things in it. Like, cause my favorite way of thinking is sub-level, sub-vocal, like sub-language types of thinking, where and that you take everything with a grain of salt and you read in between the lines, and you learn what words mean, and then you maybe have a little bit different meaning to, like, because words are completely useless, especially with the English language, especially with like because there are certain things that you might want to mean with certain things, but then there are a bunch of different things, like obsession. They're like, I want fandom, but like I like the idea of obsession. I like people really liking something, but like there are so many negative, like the concept of that is all about it being a negative thing, being about like all this negative stuff, like with being really liking something, or having a passion and like doing something, like doing something that you're skilled at, and just getting good, and grinding, and just like being productive. Like these are really good things, but somebody could say, "Oh, you're just obsessed. You're like." People could say a lot of things about you. People can say like things about the narrative of the room. They can there's a lot of stuff that like literally if somebody bosses you around or talks about the narrative of the room or tells you to like to sit there or like or tells you not to walk around too much, like somebody could or talks falsely about you, like somebody could easily um I could say like hey everybody start sweeping and stuff, um and just have everybody sweep in the room if they're listening to me, but like I think people should listen to me, but I seek not power over others. I like having control and power over my own life, but I like having control over everything. Over like every having, I am a control freak. I like everything to be heaven on earth and great and amazing. But I seek not power over others. I seek like control over things being stable, having stability, and having every day I wake up and like having productive, creative, fulfilling work being done, going out and like doing my hygiene, taking my shower, um, like remembering to brush my teeth. Note to self: I need to remember to brush my teeth. But going outside and getting some fresh air and stuff, and like everything is good. But like I just wanted to take some notes on some things because like some of the things like whenever I was like having this paranoia and stuff, like somebody was acting like it was like some of the things that triggered that were people talking about because we were low on food, right? And so like they were talking about like not eating as much. And like the last time we had gotten food, we there was like less there, so like at this point like we didn't have as much food. But we like literally yesterday we like the manager just brought food and like everything's good. Like there's no neglect. There's no like we have plenty. Like there's like when if anything runs low a little bit, we have more. It is abundant mindset. It is like we have abundance where there's food and I eat a lot of food. That's what she told me, and like I told like that's what I'll tell the state and everything, that I eat a lot of food and I am taken care of, and like I just like everything's good, and I my independence, my privacy, my solitude, everything is respected. I live in heaven on earth. Everything is great. But I did want to talk about some things of like paranoia. Like, is it delusional? Like, is it always delusional? I think that having being paranoia is just as delusional as paranoia. They're all extremes and things but like if you talk about paranoia and paranoia being delusional, like it's like literally like if you're analyzing any situation, like saying these things, they are setting a narrative or like a precedent, a thing of what it is before you even go to analyze. Like the words are like saying certain things about like what happened or what didn't, like with like Spanish or English or like whatever language. Like there are certain things that like and certain meanings that like maybe that's not what you meant to say, because maybe I don't know how to like I literally I need to expand my vocabulary, and I need to make up some phrases and stuff, and avoid saying negative negative types of phrases that have negative meanings, that like because like I've recently heard some people say that they're gonna do some things that are negative, that have some really scary or negative meanings to them. Like they are slang that have to do with like the mob, or they're like slang and Urban Dictionary slang that is basically nothing good could come from those things. But like I would never say those. I would never make threats or say that I'm gonna have negative behavior. Like I live a life of constant self improvement, and I have great behavior, and I don't want anybody having delusions about my behavior. And like, I am I communicate, and make I'm really good because I used to have goals. I had a place for goals. I had a place for notes to self. I had a place for general notes. I had a place for like the daily journal, vlog, whatever. But like I used to write down, and it was so tedious to write down my journal, and somebody stole my journals from me, from which I only had them to a certain point, but and then I stopped journaling. But like I feel like being able to do vlogs, but like treat it like treat it like these are more personal things. Like NTS is something that I write a lot, is notes to self, and whenever I could go back through Facebook or whatever, I can look at NTS, and like if there's a post that like is something that I might be able to for something productive or something like for creative, like I get inspired by something, I put NTS, and that's notes to self on like stuff from like school or stuff from like and just another NTS, note to self. I need to go back over everything that I learned every stage of school up to high school, and then also learn college things that I haven't learned yet. But like all from like online college courses, and to do and to go over everything. Like I know how to cross my T's and dot my I's, and for people who say that I have cognitive decline or that I have trouble with memory, this is how I write my ones. That's how I write my ones. So um, and I like being comfortable. But like yes, I write my ones like that, and um, even though I have banged my head a few times on things after my stepdad has harassed me with the police and the psych industry, or has gotten on top of me and punched me in the face repeatedly while being on top of me, and my mom was laughing in the corner. Like this is something that I bring up a lot because like these are like because when he would do these things, when he would cause negativity in my life or cause trouble with the law and stuff, I would often break my own stuff, or I would bang my head in a wall, or I would, but like I never would do any kind of self harm or anything. But like I feel like that is borderline that. But like I stopped doing that a long time ago. But like it was from being mistreated in negative situations, negative scenarios, like negativity being caused in my life from the actions, direct actions caused by and drinking, and the calling of the police, the threats of being sent away, these things that I used to say that I was worried about, and now they tell me that they're gonna send me away to DRA, even though I have over there I have a printout of my diploma for my certificate from graduating DRA, and I bought all my self help books from DRA, and like my stepmom has so many manipulative, negative behaviors, um, and like runs her mouth up for a lot of things that um, and just repeated negativity from her, and like talking about the narrative. There are some like, but I've lived with my step parents for a long time, and the longer you live with somebody, the more things are bound to come up. But like I feel like behaviors like that and negativity, like um, it's like it's not like it can't be improved, right? Like I live a life of constant self improvement, and I take constructive criticism, and I always work on myself, and but like something that as a note to self with like 7 habits of highly effective teens and stuff, just like for anybody who reads that book, like what are habits? Like if somebody like learns like what a habit is, like what's that like if somebody tries to tell you what to do, or like especially if they're like have you been working on your habits, that like your goals and especially your habits are things that are specifically, those are yours, those are completely like nobody should be affected, because like anybody who does hypnotism, or anybody who affects somebody's routine or their life or anything, or does any things, um like uh like these are things that your habits are things that they can use for to do those things to you, and to affect you in that way, to take control over your life, and to completely run your life. Like I don't want anybody doing that again. There's been people, staff, like who have like been paid to do their job, and then like they've had me do their job, or they have completely run my life, and like they've had me in places that I didn't want to be, and they've said no to certain things that are things that I like, the way that I wanted things to be, like they would have a negative agenda, or it would affect like adversely to what I wanted things to do or be or like and I wouldn't want any of that. But like the habits, like your goals, like I avoid my like I go over all my goals with like the ACT team, right? But like they set like or some of the language, like I don't know if this is intentional, but like they have language, like literally they have like um roadblocks. Well, we need to set you some roadblocks, like roadblocks, like come on, like what, like that is like they gotta mean something else by that, right? Like I can't be paranoid. Like it's not like why would they, are they trying to get like literally the only thing that could be interpreted by that is trying to put you in a box of your capability, like to make you less capable or more dependent. And like I like being independent and stuff, or like to get in the way of you being successful. And I'm a winner, but like I am such a winner that like I like having basketballs and shooting them into a hoop, or and I like success. I like to like there's something that I want to get called putt putt, where you putt putt into the ball directly into the thing rather than across a field into the thing. Like literally, if I were to play golf, I would take the golf ball and I would take a long walk and I would drop the ball in the hole. Um, but like a lot of the things that I do are so efficient and like so like a lot of the things that I do are so like it could be considered cheating, but like I don't cheat because I am working towards a common goal and I work on a teamwork without anybody being on the opposite team. Like it's all like teamwork makes the dream work. It's all synergy. like um but but certain things there should be no reason to be paranoid. Like you should live in heaven on earth, and like everything, like wherever you are, like and where things are you should have true peace and where things are covered and stuff, and where everything is good, and like have frugal luxury and stuff. But um like the fact that paranoia that exists, it means that there is actually like supposed to be like where everything is just good, and that so to be paranoid it would be delusional because it's just utopia. Because I do love fellowship utopia, and I love that's one of my biggest goals is to just like and is just to live in an environment where everybody just lives by virtue and just it has great behavior, and like nobody's mean to anybody. Like it's just fantastic. And where being paranoid would be somewhat irrational or delusional. Like that's the way it should be. Like there's just been certain things that have affected things where maybe that isn't delusional, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's logical or rational. Just like I just touched that, and the knowing that as a fact that actually happened is rational, even though like an AI could like literally like if I do this, like I could make an AI like showing my hand moving right there. Like that's actually possible now with special effects and AI stuff. Like you could just generate me. "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." Is that real, or is the words that you've heard in this, is that real? Like is that photo you saw real? Is that video they're presenting to the court, is that real? like literally like any type of media, like there is like special effects are so good that like there is absolutely nothing solid about anything that is like any type of like anything can be fabricated, like any type of media, like any type of evidence that is media can be fabricated now. I've seen somebody using a VR headset, putting a VR headset on the judge. Like I saw this in the news, and they were reenacting what they said was going on in the thing, and somebody was going to jail but like they showed them a 3D reenactment of something, and I feel like literally like I made a 3D reenactment of my stepdad punching me, and then me punching him back, but that's not actually how it happened. So I don't know. Like literally like he shoved me 3 times, and then and he was drinking, and my stepmom had been talking about sending me away and like making all these threats, and I asked her to but yeah, he did this the first physical altercation and saying the paranoid things, and then I wanted to where I had a video where I was all happy, and it was moments before disaster. um but like whatever like I was just thinking the other yesterday I was thinking, what do I just do I call the police and then just have them outside, and then as soon as they're like, oh, we're gonna get you to the psych industry and harass you with again with that, and we're gonna drink, and then we're gonna press the button that is for burglars, and have the fire department and the police come, and then they're gonna take you to Green Oaks, or I'm gonna make false claims and criminal allegations, and then get you in trouble with the law, and then waste your time, and then kindly bail you out immediately, which has been fantastic. But the amount of times that I've been harassed with this, and where these negative situations, my time, and being put on meds, and having to do the anger management classes, repeatedly, being in jail, literally being in jail, and then coming out. But I don't know, it's just literally literally, do I call them and say I think it's time for me to go home as soon as they start drinking? Like I've communicated a few times over text about something I just need to know that these things aren't gonna happen and everything's good, and it's all gonna be hunky dory. Whenever we're seeing a movie together, whenever you visit me, or just to know that these things aren't gonna happen. And he didn't respond, and so that's why I just wanted to talk about that, because it's like what do I do? I think it's time for me to go home, because I'm home right now, and it's all good. But I'm making this isn't actually a video that I'm making for my channel. This is actually in my call redacted diary. My diary that's for a character that isn't even it's a conspiracy theorist, and it is all redacted. It is all a diary, and it is all it's not really for anybody, and I don't want to see it on the TV or anything. But because literally these vlogs are you're reading my diary, and my slogan for this channel is your business is my business. Thanks for watching.